In this installment, we're going to be going over the NBA Draftkings and Fanduel slate for March 28th. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your March 28th Draftkings and Fanduel slate. But before I deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MeshNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about the Patreon. We're gonna have picks for the Final Four coming up. We already got the new winner for the NCAA March Madness as well. That is in there. We're going to be getting ready for the NBA playoffs. We're getting ready for the NFL draft as well. Everything is geared up for April. Get signed up right now. Do not miss out on the futures. All those links will be provided down below. Before we go into position by position breakdown, we're going to start off with the injury report that is super important here. We're going to start out with all the out guys, and I'll talk about some of the questionable. So John Moran is going to be out. Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Gordon Hayward, Mark Williams, Nick Richards, and Will Barton. Okay, so they're already off the bat, the Washington Wizards are missing a lot of key guys. That's where the value is going to be. Corey Kispert, Kristaps Porzingis becomes a great play. There's a lot of juiciness in that Washington Wizards team there. And on the questionable side, Jarrett Allen, we're waiting on news for him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Gary Trent, Monty Morris, Daniel Gafford, and Kyle Lowry. All right, so pay attention to Twitter, pay attention to RotoWire, RotoWorld, anything that you use to get you up-to-date news on the starting lineups in the NBA. Get contacted with that. And now let's get on to the point guard position. At the point guard position, we are starting with Trae Young, Atlanta Hawks point guard, going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a home game for Trae Young where he tends to play extremely better, okay? When you got a 5 fantasy point difference there, that starts to get into a real home and road split. Sometimes there's a bigger gap, 10, 15 points. That's super extreme, but we understand that Trae Young at home, he gets cooking. In this prior matchup here against the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's already pretty much averaging 49 fantasy points per game. His season average is 47. So we get the fact that he's playing at home where he plays better, and a very positive matchup because across the board, the Cleveland Cavaliers struggle against opposing point guards. They're 26th in points, allowing 29.48, 29th in field goals made, allowing 11.32, 30th in field goal percentage, allowing a 47% field goal percentage, 20th in 3-point percentage, allowing 37% from that 3-point line, 21st in rebounds, allowing 7.69, 30th in assists, allowing 10.86, and 29th in steals, allowing 2.34, and even blocks to 30th, allowing 1.05. So if you can put a full stat-filling game for Trae Young together, we're looking at upsides of close to near 60 if he was able to put a full game together with all these high-ranked averages defensively against this team in the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I have no problem paying up for Trae Young below $10,000 in salary for someone that has the upside to give you 50, even 60 fantasy points in this game here. All right. Love Trae Young at 9,100. The next point guard we're going to be looking at will be Derek White. All right, Derek White going up against the Washington Wizards. Obviously, this team is going to be depleted on the other side of that ball. Wizards, no Beal, no Kuzma. They're going to be struggling, but obviously they're one of the worst teams defensively as well, especially guarding that 3-point line, and that is where Derek White excels. 4-6 against the Spurs, 5 of 9 against Indiana, 5 of 10 against Sacramento. He's been on fire the past 3 games. I believe that's going to continue. He's taking more shots than Marcus Smart, more shots than Malcolm Brogdon. He's pretty much the trusted number 3 shooter on this team. Derek White has emerged as a sidekick to Tatum and Jaylen Brown. All right, he's been playing very solidly a solid acquisition that they got from San Antonio and about 2 years ago. So 6,700, no problem paying for Derek White. Let's move on to the shooting guards. For the shooting guard position, we're staying in that Cleveland and Atlanta game. That should be a very high scoring affair. Donovan Mitchell is going to be the shooting guard we're going to look towards in this matchup. Across the board, this is one of the weaknesses of the Atlanta Hawks here. They've struggled mightily defensively, all right? That's the reason why Nate McMillan got fired. They brought in Quinn Snyder. They're still kind of having that problem here. And this Atlanta Hawks team against opposing shooting guards, 30th in points, allowing 34.06. 30th in field goals made, allowing 12.07. 29th in field goal percentage, allowing a 46% from the field. 30th in free throw attempts, allowing 7 a game. 30th in rebounds, allowing 9.82. 30th in assists, allowing 6.64. 30th in steals, allowing 2.79. And 30th in blocks, allowing 1.25. So Donovan Mitchell against these Atlanta Hawks here is having a very good day usually, all right? We got back-to-back 40 fantasy point games on the last past two previous matchups against the Hawks here. So we should get something very similar yet again. He's at a nice price at 8,600, around that 40 range. If you're paying 8K, you need 40. I expect him to go a little bit over in this one, bouncing back from that game against Houston, all right? So Donovan Mitchell in this matchup, $8,600 in salary. Have no problem going towards that when he was just pretty much a week ago. He's 9,300. He was in that 9,000 range for a very long time, almost reaching 10K. And this is a whole new savings price here at 8,600. Love Donovan Mitchell in this game against the Atlanta Hawks. All right, let's move on to the small forwards. For the small forward position, we're going to Miami here and Jimmy Butler going up against the Toronto Raptors. Yes, he's faced this team 3 times already and is averaging 33 fantasy points. That is below his season average, but we're going to stick to the numbers because the numbers are telling me that this is a great matchup for Jimmy Butler. So we're going to stick to the numbers, and hopefully he'll have his breakout game in this particular matchup against the Toronto Raptors. The 27th in points, allowing 24.70. 25th in field goals made, allowing 8.61. 29th in three-pointers made, allowing 3.23. 28th in free throw attempts, allowing 5.37. 29th in rebounds, allowing 10.04. And 29th in assists, allowing 5.24. So I expect Jimmy Butler to cash in on the points, cash in on the field goals made, and be aggressive going to the hole where they struggle and allowing all these teams, all these players at free throws allowed at that number at 5.37. So we get an aggressive Jimmy Butler. We're looking at him getting comfortable from that free throw line. He's going to be able to put up big numbers, as you can see. 11 of 14 against the Knicks, 10 of 11, 8 of 10, 11 of 12. He's going to be frequent, very, very frequent to that free throw line in this game against Toronto because he is that type of aggressive player for this team in the Miami Heat, the leader of this team. So I expect Jimmy Butler to have a 40-plus point game in this matchup against Toronto, all right? If we're looking for another player at that small forward position, we're going to go with Brandon Ingram here, going up against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors at home, so they're going to be playing their best. And Brandon Ingram has been on fire the past 2 games, obviously trying to position themselves in the playoffs here. And we have 59 fantasy points against the Clippers and 65.75 against the Charlotte Hornets. I expect another great performance in this one going up against Golden State Warriors, which is going to be a tightly contested matchup. Hopefully it gets into the overtime where we can see a big boost for Brandon Ingram. He's going to get back to that $9,000, even possibility of $10,000 salary if he continues this pace where he's scoring 48, 65, 59, 46 against Houston. All these are well above his season average. I think he's getting more comfortable at the end of this season where he was injured at the beginning. So I love Brandon Ingram at 8,800. Let's move on to the power forwards. For the power forwards, Jalen Williams has emerged. All right, everyone thought that it was all over when Chet Holmgren went out with his injury. But Jalen Williams, this draft pick, has been an absolute stud here. And he's in a great matchup going up against the Charlotte Hornets, who struggle down low, getting offensive and defensive rebounds. Now we're talking about no Mark Williams, no Nick Richards. They're going to be really small down there with just PJ Washington as their big. So I expect a big game rebounding from Jalen Williams. And some of the other numbers that the Charlotte Hornets are giving up, they're 28th in points, allowing 21.70, 29th in field goals made, allowing 8.48, 22nd in 3 points made, allowing 1.98, 25th in rebounds, allowing 11 rebounds a game, 30th in assists, allowing 3.70, and 21st in steals, allowing 1.25. So with all those guys out for the Charlotte Hornets, this is a perfect spot for Jalen Williams to go off at his price, under $7,000 of salary, and he can go for a 40 bomb. We're going to be all over that. He did it against Portland, 39.75. Did it against the Clippers, 38.5. 46 against Brooklyn, 44 against the Spurs. Jalen Williams has emerged as a stud for this team to go alongside of Josh Giddey and SGA. So I love him at that power forward spot. The next power forward we're going to look towards will be John Collins. We're going back to that game in Atlanta, okay? Atlanta, Cleveland. We got Jared Allen, who's going to be possibly questionable. If he's out, that's going to benefit well for John Collins and the bigs for the Atlanta Hawks here. So at $5,200 in salary, he's averaging around 27 fantasy points in this matchup. We want that big breakout game. If we get a game like he did against Indiana, where he had 35, 31 against Detroit, 33 against Golden State Warriors. If we get that performance from John Collins, that's going to be great upside at his very cheap price, very mid price here, $5,200. You're really not asking for much, but this is someone that's going to be active, scoring and on the boards. If you get a double-double out of him, that is money in the bank at his current price. All right, so love John Collins. Let's go on to the centers. For the center position, we're going to go with Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. We're waiting on news pretty much for Jared Allen if he's going to be in or out. If Jared Allen is in, we're going to go with him. If he's out, we're going to go with Evan Mobley, okay? So looking at the numbers, going up against the Atlanta Hawks here, they're 30th in points, allowing 20.46, 30th in field goals made, allowing 7.67, 30th in free throw attempts, allowing 5.85, 29th in rebounds, allowing 12.57, 26th in assists, allowing 3 a game, 29th in steals, allowing 1.25, and 28th in blocks, allowing 2.30 blocks per game. So all those numbers bode well for even Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. Stay close to the news, and then we'll pick and choose which one will be in or out, and that's the guy that we're going to go with. So Evan Mobley or Jared Allen are in great matchups going up against the Atlanta Hawks. All right, the next center we're going to be talking about will be our thumbnail here in Pascal Siakam. I've been telling you over and over about this matchup against Miami. Bigs against Miami, they cash in. All right, so there's going to be a very low-owned spot here, but ton of upside. Not a lot of people are going to go towards Pascal Siakam in this matchup against Miami. He's averaging 50 fantasy points a game, okay, against Miami. In 2 games already, his average is 45. Siakam's in a great spot here at home where he averages more fantasy points a game anyway. So we're going to put that together with the fact that this is a great matchup. We're expecting 50-plus fantasy points going up against Miami. He did it against Detroit, where he had 53, and against Indiana, where he had 57. So $9,200 in salary. He's going to be slept on, but this is a spot that we can definitely differentiate from every other lineup here. Paying up for Pascal Siakam. Love him there. And then the next center we're going to talk about will be PJ Washington. They have no other bigs, okay? They have no other bigs for the Charlotte Hornets. It's going to be PJ Washington carrying the weight. He came through in back-to-back games against Dallas, 21-12, and then in the first game against Dallas, 28-6, 3, 2, and 1. Putting complete performances here. Obviously, no Mark Williams, no Nick Richards. Expect more from PJ Washington. Even in the minutes department, we're probably going to get 35 minutes there as well. So love PJ Washington. Let's go over to FanDuel and get the values of the day. For the value plays, we're going to start off with Dennis Smith Jr. He played outstanding facing his former team in the Dallas Mavericks, where he had 29 fantasy points in the second game and that game-winning shot. And then in the first Dallas game, he had 34.5. So they're going to ride the hot hand. Terry Rozier is out. They're going to be leaning on Dennis Smith Jr. to lead the offense here at 6,500. He has a ton of upside in this game going up against the OKC Thunder. Have no problem going towards him, especially how he seems more motivated now. And he's getting an opportunity to really play some minutes and show off his ability, all right? Tyus Jones is the next guy we're going to go with at 5,600. They dropped his price because Ja Morant came back, so Ja Morant is going to be out in this game. We're going to go back to that well. He played solidly while Ja Morant was out. He had 36 against Golden State, 29 against Dallas, 51 against the Spurs. So we see some upside here with Tyus Jones at this price, below 6K. Great value there. Love him going up against Orlando, which should be a very good matchup, especially with Memphis at home, all right? Caris LeVert is going to be the sixth man for the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Atlanta Hawks in a high-scoring game. They're going to need his effectiveness off the bench. Cedi Osman have struggled as of late. Caris LeVert has been that guy that can knock down and create his own shot as well. It can't just be Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Also, like I said, Atlanta struggles against shooting guards. Caris LeVert is the backup shooting guard. He's going to get one-on-one time with the backups of the Atlanta Hawks. That's going to be giving up fantasy points to him. So love Caris LeVert at 6,200. Delon Wright at shooting guard at 5,800 is going to be in play. We're waiting on news about Monte Morris. He's usually the starting point guard. If he is out, Delon Wright is going to get more minutes. And especially since no Bradley Beal, Delon Wright is going to get minutes anyway. So like him at 5,800. And then Denny Avdija, he's going to be seeing a boost with no Kyle Kuzma. He gets a boost in minutes, and he has the ability to provide in multiple categories here. That's going to be a boost on FanDuel, okay? Not only can he shoot, he can rebound, and he can pass the ball. 15, 9, and 7 against Toronto. 21, 11, and 6 against San Antonio. And then 16, 8, and 6 against Denver. 15, 10, and 3 against Orlando. He provides so much upside. That's why he's a little bit more expensive, but he is worth it because he has the opportunity to get you a triple-double, right? So love Denny Avdija. Those are going to be the value plays for Tuesday. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Guys, sign up for that Patreon. We're going to be hammering the Final Four. We're going to get everything right here on out for Final Four, right? Because it's been wild. It's been wild. Elite 8 week was crazy. All right, I was hot from the first 2 weeks, and then Elite 8 came, and it was wild. It was wild. But we're gonna finish strong here. I have a good idea who's gonna win the title now. Sign up for that Patreon. That link is down below. Peace out.